Hi, everyone. My name is Rocky Baier, and I'm the Journalist Product Manager for NABUR at the Green Valley News and Sahuarita Sun. Welcome to our interview with Brett Bonner, the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services for the Sahuarita Unified School District, where we're going to talk about how COVID-19 has affected the new school year, remote teaching, and when school will reopen for in-person classes. He will be interviewed by Jamie Verwys, the education reporter at the GV News and Sun. If you have any questions or comments about this interview, please head over to NABUR and join the conversation there. All right, Jamie, take it away.
Thanks, Rocky. I'm Jamie Verwys, education reporter over at the Sahuarita Sun. Today I'm joined by Brett Bonner, Assistant Superintendent at SUSD. Thanks for joining us today, Brett. I know it's a very, very busy week in education. Great. It's a historical time for SUSD and many other schools. This week, you guys actually started class with distance learning and the Digital Pathways Academy. So I know it's early, but I'd love to just hear kind of some preliminary thoughts on how it's going so far with distance learning and the Digital Pathways Academy. How are teachers feeling? How are students feeling? How's it going?
Well, first, thank you for inviting me, and I'm grateful to continue to share what Sahuarita Unified School District is doing to support the situations we're in as a community, as a school district. It's been a challenge, and we are working together to navigate through this ever-changing landscape. Overall, I feel it's been a good start considering. At the forefront, we're keeping flexibility as our primary objective in what we do on our daily operations. With that, of course, health and safety is the number one priority, and that goes for our students, our families, our staff. It's critical that we maintain those high standards of health and safety. So with that, we have been moving forward. I'm grateful that our district school board modified our start date. This allowed us as a district to come together and prepare more for that return to remote learning more efficiently and more effectively. And what I mean by that is we were able to maximize 5 days prior to the first day of school to provide training for our teaching staff, our support staff, that was really focused on technology support, whether it's Google, how to operate Google Classroom, how to utilize different technology applications to better support our students who are learning from home and learning on a whole different platform for education. So overall, I feel we're off to a positive start. I'm grateful for all of our professional development team and colleagues that have done a great job helping out our staff launch the remote learning platform. And we are moving forward. Students are learning, they're engaged, we're responding to their academic needs, and we're doing the best to make those important relationships and connections with our students and families. And I really commend our teachers and our staff and our principals throughout the district to really stay connected to the best they can in a remote learning environment.
Yeah. And maybe it'd be helpful too to kind of, we've talked about it before, but maybe it'd be helpful to kind of explain the difference too between the remote learning and the Digital Pathways Academy.
Sure, you bet. Again, we've had to monitor and adjust based on the situation we're in. So due to school closures at this time, and again, our hope is to open when we meet the appropriate benchmarks, but we created two models that we're implementing at this time. The first model is our remote learning. And with remote learning is where we are providing both synchronous and asynchronous learning to our students. So synchronous is more real-time, direct instruction using a digital platform to connect with students. Asynchronous is more independent and more driven by assignment-based, project-based learning over a given window of time. Regardless, there are clear instructional objectives, there's interactions with the classroom teachers, and there's direct contact with classroom teachers. We still take attendance, assignments are still due, we still do grading, we still focus on social emotional support. All those factors come into place. The big change is that students aren't in a brick and mortar setting for 6 to 7 hours each day. They're working from their homes or an environment that is safer at this time, but we're making direct daily contact with all of our students throughout each day of the school week. For the Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy, we wanted to provide an opportunity for families to register in a full-time online program. And what that means is that as our district and our nation and our state are going through this transition of when we plan to reopen, the Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy provides an opportunity for students or parents to register for an online program for the year. Now, they have an option to reevaluate at mid-semester. Do families want to come back to the brick and mortar setting, or do they want to continue for the entire year? We're being very flexible with that. We're still accepting enrollments as I speak. We're trying to be very fluid with accommodating what parents and families want, whether it's the remote learning at this time or if it's the Sahuarita Digital Pathways Academy. We're just being very flexible. But with the Digital Pathways Academy, for grades K through 5th grade, students that are registered have an assigned classroom teacher. There is more of the synchronous learning still taking place where they check in daily, there's interactions, there's direct instruction, but it's also blended with asynchronous as well. So there's projects, there's problems to be worked on, assignments, but it's all done from that digital platform. For grades 6th through 12th grade, it's much more asynchronous in the sense that it is online. We're using a digital platform, a curriculum called Edgenuity, also called E2020, and it is a scribed packaged curriculum that provides pacing, content, instructional objectives, all aligned to the state standards. But we also have certified personnel, our teaching staff, all hired within our district to help facilitate and manage, almost like an instructional coach would be for students. So those facilitators, those certified classroom teachers, have a higher student to teacher ratio. However, they're working to check on students on how are you doing with your classwork? How is your pacing coming along? Do you need any support or assistance? Are you staying on track to finish this course on time? And we don't want students to fall behind or get lost as they're becoming more independent learners using this type of platform through a full online structure. With that though, whether it's remote or with digital pathways, we're focused on still having direct contact with students. So counseling programs still continue, social emotional support still continues. We also provide gifted enrichment opportunities for students that are in the gifted programs, and that's grades 2nd through 5th grade, regardless of the platform they're using. We also offer advanced placement courses, honors courses through the Digital Pathways Academy. So that's still being offered. And so we're really trying to keep things as consistent as possible. The biggest change is the learning environment due to the health pandemic.
Sure. And, with the in-person start date moving to, September, is that going to impact the curriculum at all for the remote learning?
That's a great question. Again, with our whole mindset of flexibility and our need as professionals to monitor and adjust accordingly, yes, I do feel that we'll be on track. Again, there's a lot of flexibility here. We utilize curriculum maps for grades kindergarten through 12th grade in all core content areas. We partner with a digital platform called Beyond Textbooks. And what that does, it provides the what, meaning the standards that we need to teach, articulated by each grade level and the specific content. And the when is the pacing of how much time the teachers have to instruct those standards. And the how is autonomous to the professionals, our classroom teachers. So we provide the training and support of how to deliver quality instruction through our essential elements of instruction. However, teachers are the specialist, the content experts. They have the skilled craft to deliver that instruction using whatever platform it may be, whether it's brick and mortar, through the Digital Pathways Academy for the elementary section, and then more so, obviously, in the remote learning. So we have a digital platform that we're going to continue to follow to the best of our ability to make sure that all the standards are met by the end of the school year, and that students are learning, they're engaged, and we're trying to minimize any loss gap between what happened in the spring of this past year. And as we move forward to hopefully returning soon, we want to keep students moving forward in the right direction with their academics.
Perfect. And so I know that one of the requirements is for schools to provide an on-site space, for students who might not have another place to go or might be at risk. Has the district been able to evaluate, kind of what that need is and what that's going to look like?
Part of Governor Ducey's executive order required districts throughout the state to provide the in-school support services. Now, it's not direct instruction. It's not like a school day, but we want to provide purpose and meaning if families choose to send their kids during this time because of either work conflicts or maybe there's a need for technology access or internet access. We are open, and what I mean by that is we're open to provide the care support for the greatest need. So for families that really need this help, it is available. We surveyed our families prior to creating our design model. And what happens now is we have the true number count of families that are planning to have their students come to their home school for the in-care services. And again, the number count's very low, which is good because we have to balance between the health and well-being, the CDC guidelines. And so I really appreciate the family support of understanding that this is for the greatest need of students that are really in a tough situation where, as I referenced earlier, maybe both parents need this additional support. They don't have technology. And so we have classrooms and environments that are set up to help students with their classroom work or gain access to the internet. There's meals being provided as well, but the number counts are low, they're manageable, and we're still staying in compliance with the health department metrics and the CDC guidelines. And we'll continue to offer this service until we return to full either hybrid model or full back to operation model when we reach all three benchmarks that the state has identified.
Okay. And then I know that like a big part of the procedural changes are going to be additional cleaning and kind of safety procedures. Can you just kind of explain some of the new equipment you'll be using for cleaning and some of the other steps that are being taken to, make it as safe as possible when students do return in person?
Definitely. We have been working collectively with our leadership teams, working with our district registered nurse, Janine Sarnacki. We've been working closely with our facilities department and really targeting clear procedures and protocols to keep our campuses clean, safe, and we have a very strong plan in place. So here's some things that we're really focusing on. And this is some overt actions and just direct actions that students are going to have to do when they come back more frequently. So, for example, hand hygiene, really making a part of the daily routine more frequently, where students will be washing their hands, staff washing their hands more frequently. So we have more of those stations throughout the day. Those are more procedural items. Face coverings. We're following, again, the health guidelines to have face coverings for all staff, all students during the school day in Sahuarita Unified School District. So that will continue. Right now, we're not taking on any visitors or volunteers to, again, try to control our environment and limit access just to keep the number counts low. We will open up as it feels appropriate based on the medical guidance we get and the health department guidance we receive. We're also providing training with our staff on how to keep distance learning in place, how to keep social distancing as a forefront, as a focus, how to transition from classroom environment to a special or to lunch. So we're working out all those protocols to make sure that we're adhering to all the safety guidelines. In addition to that, our school district was eligible for the ESSER grant. And the ESSER grant is called the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund. And this was a federal grant from the Corona Release Fund that has provided our district monies to target needs for health and safety. So this summer, we wrote a grant and worked closely with our facilities department and our technology department to focus on two things with these funds. One, increase our ratio of technology devices, and then two, increase our cleaning and our personal protective equipment, our PPE equipment, health and hygiene equipment, so we can be ready for the return to in-person learning. So with that, we've purchased PPE, anywhere from masks to hand sanitizer, to wipes to help disinfect and to keep things sanitized. We've purchased plexiglass to create a barrier in our environments where there's high traffic areas or volume areas of individuals. We also have prepared for, like, for example, our speech language pathologists work very closely with students. We've created these plexiglass barriers where they can still provide the services, but enhance the safety opportunities where we could minimize any type of transmission. We've purchased a large number of these, they're called electrostatic machines. They're disinfectant machines. And these machines are a disinfectant spray that we use in classrooms daily to keep the rooms clean. We have more in-depth cleaning happening every day during transition periods when students do return. So we've turned the notch up, so to speak, on our cleaning and hygiene, and we invested lots of monies to make sure that we're ready for that and to keep our campuses clean throughout our entire school district. And that includes playgrounds, high frequency areas, restrooms, classrooms, and that's really important. And we've devoted lots of monies to help support that and to be ready for that transition when students do come back on campus.
Perfect. And as always, I do kind of like to open it up a little bit. Is there any kind of questions that you've been hearing often, or is there anything that you would like kind of families to know as we continue to move forward in distance learning, in the digital pathways, and then eventually back to in-person or hybrid?
Yeah, thanks for that opportunity. One of the things I've heard a lot of inquiries on, and I want to, again, elaborate that we're here all together as a team, as a family. We're here to support children and students in our community. I am sincerely grateful for the amount of support, the trust that our community has given to us. And at the same time, asking some really important questions about safety, transition, and services. One question that comes up quite a bit is specific to special education students. And so whether it's remote, brick and mortar, or through the Digital Pathways Academy, our staff will continue to provide services for all special education students, whether it's speech, language, or occupational therapy, physical therapy, or if it's specific learning disabilities or extended resource. Through the student's individualized education plan, our staff is committed and obligated by law to provide those services as outlined on a student's IEP. And we'll do that continuously, whether we're in person or remotely. We're prepared. Our special education teachers are phenomenal, and they're working hard to stay connected to our families and the students we serve. And I would also just, again, like to add that our teachers and our staff make all the difference working with our families that are trusting us and believing in us at this very difficult time. And there's an increased focus on relationships. So although we're working far in distance, we're very committed to staying as close as we can, staying connected with our families, building relationships with students, being accessible. And that's really important to us as we move forward to make sure that students are still learning at a high academic rigor level, a rigorous level where they're feeling engaged, learning, and we're meeting all the state standards. In addition to that, we miss kids. I've been doing this. This is my 24th year in education. This is the first full week of school. And honestly, I miss the energy. I miss not seeing our students. And so I look forward to our return. I am sincerely grateful for the community support. And I really value how collectively we've been engaged with the medical personnel, the town government, our community forums, our community conversations, really listening to what families and our community have to say, and listening to medical guidance and our community to see how can we create a plan that best supports the children we serve. So I'm very grateful for that. And we're monitoring every day. So we have plans out there. We know that we have our system set up, whether it's a hybrid model, full operation return model, whether it's a digital pathways model. We have our plans ready, but we are monitoring every day, and we're ready to adjust as we need to with all those key focal points of safety and well-being at the forefront. And I'll end with this last piece of the Digital Pathways Academy. It was tough. We have approximately 1,500 students enrolled. They can still enroll. If families aren't pleased, we're being flexible if they want to return to their brick and mortar or more of the remote learning platform. And I just want to say thank you for being patient. This has happened so fast. We built this program in less than 7 weeks, and that is a monumental task. And so what really challenged us was the volume of phone calls and emails. And we brought in our staff and our team, and we're reaching out to our families. We want to make sure that we have that personalized connection with those families and answer the questions that may arise or they need more clarity on. So we're really trying to stay caught up with that. So thank you for being patient. And we are accessible, and we will reach out to you. We will return your calls or emails. And at any time, reach out. We're here to answer those questions to help support what you need to know to support your children in school.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Brett. We really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us, answer some questions, and kind of let us know how things are going. And good luck with the rest of the week and the weeks to come.
Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate your continued support, and I'm sure I'll see you around campus when we're able to be in person, but it's great to see you in this digital platform. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching our interview with Brett Bonner. Did he answer your questions? Do you have any other questions? What do you think about what he said? Head over to NABUR and join the conversation. Thanks, everyone, and stay safe out there.